Tonight, we're delving into a story that serves as a chilling, heartbreaking reminder of the dangers that can hide just behind a computer screen. It's a story about trust, it's about deception, and it's about a bright young life that was tragically cut short. This is the story of Breck Bednar. He was chilled, respectful, and well-mannered, almost like a model son. Those are the words of a mother, Lauren Lefebvre, talking about her 14-year-old son, Breck. He was, by all accounts, a boy any parent would be so incredibly proud of. A boy who loved his family, his friends, and had a deep passion for computing. But that very passion would, tragically, lead him into a dark, digital world that he couldn't escape from. Understanding how something like this can happen is just so critical in the world we live in today. And if you agree, if you want more explainers that really dig into these tough but very important topics, please take a moment to subscribe. It genuinely helps us continue to bring these crucial stories to light. To really feel the true weight of this tragedy, you first have to understand who Breck was. Because he wasn't just a name in a news headline. He was a vibrant, incredibly intelligent young man with his whole future ahead of him. I mean, look at this. At just 14 years old, Breck was already so accomplished. He was an A-star student, a proud member of the Air Training Corps, really active in his local church. He was basically the definition of a great, well-rounded kid. But his real passion? That was computing. He loved taking machines apart, putting them back together, always saving up his money to make his gaming setup faster, better. He was resourceful, curious, and just a genuinely good person. And this one little detail, it just speaks volumes about the home he grew up in. His family trusted him completely. His bedroom door was always kept open. It was kind of a symbol of the transparency and the trust in their house. You'd see him online, headphones on, laughing with his friends in these big multiplayer games. From the outside, it just looked like a completely normal, safe, and happy teenage life. But it was inside that very world, that seemingly safe space of online gaming, that a new, powerful voice started to emerge. A stranger who would slowly, methodically, and very deliberately begin to shatter Breck's reality. So on one side, you have Breck's reality, a 14-year-old kid with real accomplishments and real dreams. And on the other side, the complete and utter fiction of a guy named Lewis Daynes. Daynes pretended to be a 17-year-old peer, but he was older, and he was crafting this incredible fantasy to lure in kids just like Breck. He said he was a millionaire, an international man of mystery, a tech genius working for the U.S. government. It was all a lie, of course, but it was a really seductive one. Daynes basically set himself up as the ringmaster of their online gaming group. He wasn't just another player, no. He was the one with all the exciting stories, the one living this glamorous life. And for a teenager like Breck, who was so passionate about computers and technology, meeting someone who claimed to be running a multi-million-pound tech company, well, that must have felt like a dream come true. This fabricated glamour, that was his weapon. But that fascination, it soon twisted into something much, much darker. This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a calculated process of psychological manipulation. We're talking about online grooming. It's truly chilling how precisely Daynes followed a groomer's playbook. So first, he built trust. He used flattery. He promised Breck a lucrative career, all this wealth. Then he created dependency with this wild lie. He told Breck he was dying and wanted him, and only him, to inherit his fictional business empire. This, of course, made Breck feel incredibly special, chosen. And next came the isolation. He demanded total secrecy, convincing Breck his parents just wouldn't get it. And finally, he exerted control, getting jealous when Breck talked to other friends, reinforcing that their special relationship was the only one that mattered. And the effects? They were noticeable. The bright, open kid started to change. He grew secretive, anxious. He started lying to his family. You can see the trust was literally shifting from his parents to this online stranger. His mother, Lauren, she saw these warning signs. She knew in her gut that something was deeply wrong. So she did what any concerned parent would do. She called the police. And this is a critical, absolutely heartbreaking failure in the story. Lauren's concerns were noted, but no urgent action was taken. She wasn't pointed towards specialized agencies that might have helped. Her warnings, which came from a mother's intuition and clear signs of manipulation, they just went unheeded. And that left the family feeling completely powerless as Dana's grip on Breck just got tighter and tighter. With absolutely no one stepping in to intervene, Daynes' manipulation moved into its final, terrifying stage. He convinced Breck to make a secret journey, a trip from which he would never return. This timeline, it maps out the very last day of Breck Bednar's life. He lies to his dad, using a cover story crafted by his manipulator. Daynes orchestrates the entire thing. He even pays for the taxi. And on the way, Breck is sending texts to his parents, telling them he's safe, likely coached by Daynes on exactly what to say. Every single step of this journey was controlled, leading Breck straight into a trap. And Lewis Daynes, he wasn't the 17-year-old peer he'd been pretending to be. He was 19, a legal adult. An adult who, it turned out, had even been investigated for serious offenses against another boy before. This was never a misunderstanding between teenagers. This was predation. The moment Breck Bednar walked into that flat in Essex, the fantasy world Daynes had so carefully built for him just collapsed into a horrific reality. All the promises of wealth, the exciting life, the special friendship, it was all a lie designed for one purpose, to lure him there. That night, Lewis Daynes murdered Breck Bednar. This story is just devastating, but to ignore it would be an even greater tragedy. Breck's family has shown unbelievable courage in sharing his story so that all of us can learn from it. So what are the crucial takeaways here? What does this case teach us about the world we're all living in right now? Okay, first, let's be absolutely crystal clear on what we're talking about. This right here is the definition of online grooming. This isn't about a stranger in a van anymore. It's about a predator building a relationship, sometimes over months, using trust and emotional connection as their weapons. It is calculated and it is deeply, deeply manipulative. So what does this all come down to? Well, predators online, they don't look like monsters. They look like whoever they need to be to get what they want. Their number one goal is always isolation, which is exactly why open communication is so vital. And as Breck's story proves beyond any doubt, when a parent raises an alarm, those warnings have to be taken with the utmost seriousness. Because that line between an online friend and a real-world threat, it can vanish in a heartbeat. For me, personally, this story is it's profoundly sad. Your heart just breaks for the Bednar family and for the incredible loss of such a bright, gentle soul. But it's also a terrifying reminder that protecting kids online isn't just a job for parents. It's on all of us. It's a collective responsibility for law enforcement, for tech companies, for our entire community. This is a really difficult conversation to have, I know. But it is so important that we have it. If this explainer helped you understand the stakes, please hit that like button to help other people find it. I'd also really value hearing your thoughts on this case and on online safety in general down in the comments. Let's talk about this. Thank you so much for watching, and a huge thank you to all of our subscribers for being a part of this community. Just taking the time to understand Breck's story, that's the first step we can all take toward preventing another tragedy like it. We will see you in the next explainer. I'll leave you with this question to think about. In a world where so many friendships are now forged through screens and keyboards, and where entire identities can be completely made up, how do we teach ourselves and our children to spot the real predators who are hiding in plain sight?